back inside Guelph. We're going to have our health and wellness tips now. This is all about staying fit for life with Dr. Phil McAllister. Thanks for being here.
Always a pleasure, Trish.
Always a pleasure to see you. So you've got some tips about our fit longevity.
You got it. Yeah, we live in a time where we're really truly lucky. We actually get to choose our health and our longevity. We're under control now. 100 years ago, it was a game of chances. It wasn't always this way. So you think back to time like around 1900, average lifespan for a person was about 48 years. By 1935, when they created the Social Security system, average lifespan was about 62 years. So it worked out well that when they created Social Security for 65, most people weren't living past 62, so they didn't have to pay out. Now, by 2010, average lifespan is about 76 for males, about 78 for women. So that Social Security system isn't working so well anymore, as we can all see. So the reality here is people are living longer, and what we want to do is make sure that people can live long and strong. They make those choices to live a healthy health span as well as a lifespan.
Right.
So what I want to look at today is getting down to those 3 tips, those 3 keys that help us live fit and trim for life. So key number 1 is taking responsibility for our lives and our health.
Ooh, that's a big one, Dr. Phil.
We've talked about this in many other aspects, and it's that law again of cause and effect, that every action has its consequence. Everything counts in life. And it's getting away from things like what I like to call excuse-itis. that disease of making excuses for everything. It's time to take responsibility. Mark Twain said it quite well. There's 1,000 excuses for failure, but never a good reason. So when we look at taking responsibility, I always think of a friend named Jimmy. Jimmy works on a construction site.
Oh, we did this.
You got it.
You're here. Jimmy with the sandwiches.
You got it.
Yes.
You got it. So
Jimmy makes his own sandwiches.
that's the bottom line. You remember that, the sardine sandwich with the Jimmy, right? And in life, we all make our own sandwich. It's that cause and effect. So when we look at key number 2, we want to set goals for our health and for our life. So it's setting goals as to how much we want to weigh, what we want to look like, vacations, our sleeping habits, and very important, how long do we want to live? And then this is a question I put out to everyone, and start with you. How long do you want to live?
I have no answer. I've never thought about that. That's a great question.
It's not an easy question, right?
No, not an easy one.
I know I'd like to live long and strong to 100.
Okay.
And
You've set a number.
Just set a number, right? Start there. Now the next question becomes, if you take that number, well, how are you going to get there? And then start to reverse engineer from there. That are the choices I'm making today going to help me to get
to 100?
To 100, living long and strong. And if they're not, what do I need to do to change it as far as setting new goals, new strategies, right?
Oh, that's a good way to think of it,
So it's that finding that purpose in your life. If I think of purpose is like the ultimate destination we want to get to. And then we set our vision as to strategies to get there. And then the goals are those tools
to get us there
as well.
And the 3rd tip, you said there are 3.
3rd key is feeding the mind. Again, we live in a time in the information age where health and wellness information is so abundant. The key is just reading, learning, taking that expansive wealth of knowledge that's out there and just learning more and starting to apply those principles to get us to that age that we want to live at, living long and strong.
And it's a good point, because once you learn, you can't go back. You can't say, I didn't know that, so now you know.
You got it. You can never learn less, right?
That's right.
You can always learn more.
So excuse-itis, that's my new word for the day.
You got it.
Excuse-itis. We've got to get rid of that. We've got to feed our mind, set the goal, set the number.
Take responsibility for our lives,
Take responsibility for our lives. Well, thank you, Dr.
My pleasure.
Phil.
So next week I'm going to start into more keys, the 7 keys to really live that healthy life. So today we'll look at this as segment number 1 on getting started.
On getting started. Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, so 7 tips to get going once we get our goals set. Okay, we'll take a short break. When we get back, we're talking about a gala for Prader-Willi syndrome. Stay with us.